Ever met someone who surprised you by actually being much younger than you first expected? Many assume that the reason for this is just down to good genetics, or maybe just a person making more of an effort towards their physical appearance. While both can indeed be contributors, other factors contribute to how well you age too, that we make choices toward each and every day. Exercise, how we deal with stress, and even sleeping habits are all examples. A study in 2020, for instance, found that people who trained with aerobic exercise were almost 5.5 years biologically younger than people who were sedentary. Yet another, that is an area of growing interest among the scientific community relating to longevity, is the impact of diet, in particular by way of the fasting mimicking diet. Therefore, today we'll be looking at a recent research article investigating the subject, as well as how it may help health as a whole. But first, as always, please take note of our disclaimer. Understandably, we're aware that when you hear talk about improved aging, it's probably confusing since there's obviously not much we can do to limit the number of Earth's revolutions around the Sun, is there? Well, it's important here to differentiate between what is chronological aging and what is biological aging. Of course, both of these can be the same for some people. However, for others, they could be a few years off. Chronological age is the age you're accustomed to. It's how many years you've been alive. But biological age, the type we're referring to in this video, is instead the age that refers to how old your cells and tissues are based on physiological evidence. Someone may be 60 chronological years old and be fit and healthy, so their cells and tissues may be younger biologically than someone else of the same age, who's contrarily chronically ill or in poor physical condition, which can ultimately have a knock-on effect on making them appear younger, and more importantly, less prone to disease risk. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, what exactly is meant by a fasting mimicking diet? But just on a quick side note, if you'd like to undertake our evidence-based and results-backed personalized Plato weight management program, please click the link in the top right-hand corner of the video or follow the link in the description. Opposed to a traditional fasting diet, like say intermittent fasting, where you have a fasting window with complete abstinence of food, the fasting mimicking diet doesn't actually have any periods of fasting. Instead, it focuses on keeping the daily calories low enough to, so to say, trick your body into thinking you're fasting when you're not, to still get some similar metabolic benefits. Hence its name, the fasting mimicking diet. Of course, in recent years, many studies have suggested that traditional fasting already possesses anti-aging advantages. So what bonus could the fasting mimicking diet offer? Well, from an adherence point of view, not having to go extended hours without food is just easier, simply put. And because you can also intake calories at any point throughout the day, as long as you remain in range, there's less risk of missing out on essential nutrients over the long term. On top of that, the fasting mimicking diet is done in monthly cycles of 3 to 5 days, where you can eat normally for the other 25 days or so. As a result, it gives many a much needed break to help with adherence versus those who put themselves through continual periods of fasting day in and day out. The fasting mimicking diet is a plant-based, low-calorie and low-protein diet. Going by the study by Brandhorst et al. In 2024, on today's topic that we'll be looking at the results of later in this video, it's characterized by having 1,100 calories, composed of 11% protein, 46% dietary fat, and 43% carbs on day one of the diet, and having around 700 calories made up of 9% protein, 34% dietary fat, and 47% carbs for the remaining days. Now, when you hear as low as 700 calories per day on the diet, you'd be right in thinking that this seems pretty drastic. Typically, men should not consume less than 1,500 calories per day, and women less than 1,200 calories per day. The reason is that any less and you won't be intaking enough nutrients to support your overall health. But again, this severe calorie limitation lasts only a few days, so the potential pros of the diet health-wise might outweigh the potential cons over such a small time frame. Still, before starting any diet, it's important to consult your doctor about it first. Okay, now let's get to the meat and potatoes. What were the study's results on biological aging and metabolic health? Two clinical trial populations were included, each with men and women ranging from 18 to 70 years old. In one group, the subjects were randomized to 3 to 4 monthly cycles of the fasting mimicking diet, while in the other, the subjects were told to eat a normal or a Mediterranean-style diet. Interestingly, the results concerning aging showed that, on average, those who undertook the fasting mimicking diet reduced their biological age by 2.5 years. Also, they were found to improve their lymphoid to myeloid ratio, which indicates a younger immune system. In comparison, an analysis of blood samples from participants demonstrated that those who undertook the fasting mimicking diet lowered their diabetes risk factors, particularly their insulin resistance and blood sugar. And the results of an MRI showed that the same subjects reduced their abdominal fat and fat within the liver. Therefore, based on the study's results, the fasting mimicking diet could benefit biological age and health. However, it's worth pointing out that the study only included 86 participants who shared advantageous social, economic, behavioural and health characteristics. So it's questionable whether the same level of benefit seen in the study would translate to greater populations. Additionally, the researchers point out that it hasn't been confirmed whether the diet could hurt lean body mass or metabolic parameters or interfere with medications. Therefore, more research is warranted before recommendations for the diet can be made. Have you tried the fasting mimicking diet or have any other recommendations to improve biological aging? We'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below. Additionally, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. So, that has been our video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.